Hi everyone, and welcome to the latest episode of Yarnivore. I am Sadie, I am your hostess, and I don't know why I announce that every time. It's not changing. I'm still here. It's still me. I'm the only one who can do this. So, I don't know. I'm just used to announcing that. Anywho, today's show will be a little disheveled. It may be episode 69. It may not. It depends on if I wrote that down correctly. But I don't have a lot of notes written, so this is going to get weird real fast. But we're okay with that. So it's been a little bit, so what I'm going to show you is what I have finished first. I don't have the finished pairs of Turkish bed socks. My mom took them home with her. She went home today. I'm very sad about that, hence the recording to distract myself. I don't like weekends. I just don't. So the thing that I did finish that I can show you is the Desert Vista Dyeworks socks for the month of July. These are out of the Last Unicorn colorway in the Viso base. I used 2.5 millimeter needles because these are for my husband who has a really big foot. I used the pinstripe sock pattern. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. If you type in pinstripe sock pattern, it comes up quite quickly. It's super simple. It's a pattern I like to go to. Some people like the Hermione every day. Some people like the Honey Badger. This one I think I've done a few times and I still enjoy it. I know I don't do the same heel as called for, but I'm fine with that. So these will wait until my husband comes home to wear them. So there's that. I finished those. I did a pair of Turkish bed socks out of this particular colorway and out of the Zombody Say Boo colorway because that's what my mom wanted. And of course she was here for a week, which is why I didn't record last week as I keep adjusting myself. And yeah, so finished those while she was here and she took them home. The other stuff that got finished during Tour de Fleece, I pretty sure I showed you this. I'm not sure if I showed you this plied. This is the Honey Gold Acres Merino. This was for one of them. I had two bumps that I kind of fractal spun together. They were very similar in color, so I knew they would work well. And so this is 8 ounces, and I wrote it down, 498 yards of a 3-ply. It's probably sport weight. I'm thinking cowl. I have not set the twist on this yet, because that is who I am right now. Then I think I spun this one. I'm not sure if this is the right order. Don't quote me on this. It's a mixed BFL. It's 4 ounces. It's from Wool Gatherings. I got 327 yards. It's a traditional Navajo ply. I would say this is a sport or perhaps a heavy fingering. I did spin it really thin. It did come out really thin, and there's not going to be a lot of bloom going on. See, super thin. I think this would look nice in like a bandana cowl or maybe a nice slouchy hat. Could be a good sock head hat. Not 100% sure what I'll do with it. It's not, I had no plans. I was just getting back into spinning, and that was my whole plan. And then I spun from Dakota Carding and Wool Company. I got this at Shepherd's Harvest like 3 years ago now. www.dakotacardingandwool. This one is Sari Silk and Cormo. And I also did this 3-ply. I did a 3-ply Navajo ply, and I got 312 yards. This one is a little thicker in some places because of the preparation. It was a bat preparation, and I found that just in this case I spun it long draw woolen. I believe it's woolen. Is that woolen or worsted? I spun it with a backwards long draw, very modified, not like super long because I can't do that yet. Physically, it causes me pain to do that. So yeah, but you can see all the like the Cormo is natural white, and all the colors and all the little nubby things are Sari Silk that has been carded into it. So I really like it. I could probably get away with next to Skin Soft. I did find that this one, when I felt it up, I knew it needed to have another wash. There are some places where it just kind of poofed And that's just because of extra little puffs in there. But I think maybe a hat, maybe some fingerless gloves would be nice, although they get really dirty. Maybe a cowl. I'll have to see how it takes once I've set the twist and given it a little wash and thwack. For some reason, my window is making noise. So that took up a fair bit of my time. However, I also did some knitting. One thing that saw some work is my winter wheat cardigan, which you may be following. Is kind of a giant monstrosity. It's in my Schnuffeltier bag. She has an Etsy shop. Go on over and buy everything. Just my advice. You don't have to take my word for it. I forget what needle I used. I know I didn't use the needle of the pattern because I made a gauge swatch, which I never do, but I did with this one because I wanted to make sure I was doing right. Here's the gauge swatch. So, and then I did three different sizes, and I separated them by purl bumps, so I knew what I was doing, but now I don't remember. I even put purl ridges to tell myself what it was. I can't remember. So last time you saw it, I had separated the sleeves and was working on the green. The green is almost done. I think I have 2 more rows of the green, and then I can do the separating contrast color. So I'm in the body, the sleeves are separated. It kind of looks like the most weird, like, I can't even hold it up so that it'll show you how it's supposed to look properly because of how the sleeve is set in. But basically, there's the front. There's some stuff going on. I think the colors look really nice together. You can see on the back. There we go. If I hold it up like this, you can see the colors together. And yeah, working on that. I'd like to have it done by the time it gets cold. And I think that's doable because it's what, almost August? Almost 2 months down. So that got some love on it. That again is the winter wheat pattern. I am using Knitter's Nightmare yarn in the Batty base in the colorway Run Through the Jungle is the flecked one, and then I've got my spares here. We've got Toxic, which is the bright green. We've got Pop-Ups that need to go away. We've got Undertow, which is the bright blue, and then we've got Old Leaves, which is that one, which comes out different every time I dye it, and I have no idea why, but I'm just going to go with that flow because I figure that works. And actually, you know what? I finished this book. It's done now. Like, I've run out of room. I need to start a new thing. And then, what else did I work on? Then I worked a while on the Adrift, which is in my gorgeous reversible, not interchangeable, reversible Ghastly's bag. The Adrift is by Carol Feller. I am knitting it out of Anzula Wash My Lace weight in the One Ruby Slipper, One Red Shoe colorway. I still have quite a bit in my first ball, so I know I'm not getting anywhere. I know I'm not getting anywhere. I am using US 6 4mm needles. I have divided the sleeves out, which felt like $1,000,000. And then you knit for a bit before you start the shaping. I have finished the knitting for a bit. Now I can start the shaping. I do think, regardless of the fact that it's going to drive me completely bonkers, I am going to knit full sleeves on these because I will wear it more if there's full sleeves, because usually that's what gets cold on me, is my arms. Because I have no problem wearing sleeveless tops, and I want this to kind of be a spring, summer, fall kind of deal. I could probably wear it in the winter too here in the Pacific Northwest, but basically I just want it for when I need a lighter option. It's just knitting lace kind of makes me want to stab myself. So I'm trying my best. I'll probably get back to it. Once I finish the shaping, I basically just go back to solid stockinette forever. And that's fine by me. The last thing is something I started. There was a sip and stitch, or rather, me and a couple of friends got together and decided we were going to drink coffee and knit at Starbucks. And so I started the Good Vibes shawl, which is by Nadia Chrétien-Lechen. Chrétien-Lechen. Are you Canadian? Is she French-Canadian? I want to say she's French-Canadian. But I think that's just because she's a Christian. Because we had the Prime Minister. Okay. Up next is showing you what I worked on for that. So the Good Vibes I decided to do, apparently I'm digging my stuff right now. So it's Knitter's Nightmare. I've got the Gothic base and I've got the Baddie base, and this is Dangers Untold and Hardships Unnumbered, which are part of the Labyrinth set. I think there's a couple Labyrinth skeins still hanging around if you're interested. There's also some fiber. I don't know if I showed it, but I did dye some fiber. There's fiber in the shop if you're looking for fiber. I want to put more in too. Because I've been spinning, I'm like, I should dye fiber. So this is how far I've gotten. It's not very far, but it felt like a lot because I was talking a lot. So I've got the first row of eyelets here. Here's the second row of eyelets, and yeah. Nowhere near. These are on a US 6 4.0 millimeter. These are Knitter's Pride, and I have to say that when I started using them, the color started coming off on my hands. That really annoyed me. I'm hoping that will stop, because I like them. I just don't want color coming off. And I've got, of course, my gorgeous dog-eating knitting, dead knitting dude bag, which is covered in Frankenfuzz from Wilda. And that is everything I knit on. I did not do any stash enhancements. My mom did. While she was here, she was like, you've got way too many knitting projects just laying out. So she got me this. It's a wire basket to hold all my knitting projects. That's right. I've got a basket for my bags now. At least that makes it easier for bringing it in here. And before the next time you see me, I'm gonna have to figure out which Desert Vista I want to work on. I'm leaning towards, just based on the colorways I've been knitting lately, it's kind of a toss-up between Patsy and Fried Green Tomatoes, which are completely opposite. One's like super sparkly and everything, but it makes me think of summer because the show Fried Green Tomatoes takes place in the South, makes me think of summer, and Patsy Cline makes me think of Nashville, which makes me think of summer. There you go. So I don't know. One of these two are going to win. So that is what I have planned next as far as knitting. And because I seem to talk about sewing on here, I will go through some of that. There was a Friends of the Library book sale. I got some knitting books. So I got Vogue Knitting Mittens and Gloves, mostly because it was $1, and I figured mittens and gloves, you can't go wrong. I really like these ones. Turkish pattern. There's some cabled ones. There's some pretty basic ones. I just, $1, why not? And, sorry about that, had to respond to my mama. To which the crowd asks, why didn't she drink then? I don't know. But if you don't like sewing, this is probably the end for you. If you do like sewing, continue to stick around. I picked up a couple of books because they were $1. Friends of the Library book sale. I got the Better Homes and Gardens American Patchwork and Quilting. I got a landslide over here. Okay. Mom is traveling, so I'm keeping track of where she is. I got the Thimbleberry Book of Quilts. Most of these just have quilt patterns and templates, and who knows when I'll ever get to them. But I figured $1, and I have been enjoying quilting. The sampler quilt's by Diane Leone, and then you can like pair it up in different ways. The Rita Weiss Easy to Make Patchwork Quilt, step by step. There's some Amish quilts in it. It's super small, it's mostly templates. That was 50 cents. The New England Quilt Museum quilts, which are really pretty. Butterflies. And the Watercolor Magic by Deanna Springola. What I really like about this is it kind of looks like Bargello. It plays with color in an interesting way that I think I could really utilize a lot of scraps, which makes me happy. And it's got a lot of color theory, which also I enjoy. And then I got quilted bags and totes. Not sure if I'll ever make a quilted bag or a quilted tote, but if I ever want to, I have that option. And it came with all the, it's got all the templates, but it's also a retired library copy, so that one was 50 cents. The other big thing is, and I know I inspired a few people with this, so I will continue to enable you, row by row. My mom brought me some from Canada, so she picked me up the Periwinkle kit, which is from Saskatoon, and it is snow geese on the road, or snow geese on the go. Kind of looks like geese flying over the farmlands on the prairies. She got me the kit with everything in it, so it's all good to go if I ever get to it. My goal is to have enough that I could actually make a quilt top. It's not that I'm actually going to participate like actively, because there's no way I can make a quilt by October with my brother's quilt looming over my head. The Peachtree Quilt Shop in Regina gave out freebies, so that was nice. And I have to actually pull this out to show you, and I'll show you the awesome fabric. It's got like this fabric that looks like a map, except it's all sewing themed, and this is the on the go row by row for Peachtree, which makes me think of Petrie because I used to call her Peachtree. And it looks like that. It's an applique sewing machine, and then so that the applique sewing machine goes on the back of this fabric that looks like an ocean, and then you basically end up doing all this paper piecing on the other end. It's gonna be spiffy, and that's the full kit. I've never appliqued, so this could get hairy. And then we went to, pardon the crinkle, we went to Rochelle's Fine Fabric in Port Orchard. So this year's row by row is this guy. So Honk If You Quilt with a camper. Kind of reminds me of Pam, because she likes to go RVing, and I know her RV is way more spiffy than that, but I just thought it kind of reminds me of her. And then they had last year's and the year before's for super cheap. So for the 2016, it was game night. There's actually two for 2016, so one of these is the junior. This one's probably the junior. But there's two kitties, and it's game night, and me and my husband play games all the time, and it was $10, and it has all the fabric, so why not? Like, I can easily throw that one in. And then lava lamps, or maybe this is the junior one, 2016, and it was $4.99. There's the pattern, and it comes with all the fabric as well. So why not? Why not? They are going to be closing, so I've got a list of the sale dates. This is going to lead to bad things, let me just say. And then at Pacific Fabrics, they were having a sale on some books, and I picked up 123 Quilt for less than $10. And it has a bunch of cool patterns in it, and cool ideas, and things that can use up scraps, and things that are pretty, And so there's that. That was basically all the major shopping I did with my mom, and so I'm going to let you go, and I will see you again.